You've probably set up some kind of automation before. Maybe you connected your email to a spreadsheet or pushed form submissions to Slack. It felt like magic until the bill arrived. Today we're comparing the two biggest automation platforms of 2026, Zapier and n8n, and I'll show you why choosing the wrong one could cost you thousands of dollars a year. Here's the number that made me rethink everything I knew about automation pricing: 98%. That's how much less some users are paying after switching platforms. But before you rush to switch, there's a catch. The cheaper option isn't right for everyone, and picking wrong could leave you stranded without support when something breaks. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly which platform fits your technical comfort level, your budget, and your actual automation needs. No hype, just honest math. Let's start with what these tools actually do. Automation platforms connect your apps so they can talk to each other and do things automatically without you clicking buttons. For example, when a customer fills out a form, the automation can add them to your email list, create a task in your project manager, and send you a Slack notification. All instantly. Zapier pioneered this space and has been the default choice for non-technical users since the early 2010s. They made automation accessible to people who can't write code. n8n entered the market later with a different philosophy. It's open source, which means developers can see and modify the code, and it uses a visual workflow builder that sits between no-code and pro-code. The market has shifted dramatically. Between 2024 and 2025, n8n gained serious market share with its open-source approach and what many users call predictable pricing. By 2026, AI agents have become standard features on both platforms. According to Gartner, 40% of enterprise apps now include task-specific AI agents built into their workflows. But here's where things get complicated for regular users. 78% of enterprises are struggling to integrate AI with their current tech stacks. Zapier connects to over 8,000 apps with pre-built integrations. That's their biggest selling point. Whatever software you use, Zapier probably supports it out of the box. n8n offers around 400 native integrations, which sounds like a lot less. But there's a crucial difference. 8n has native LangChain integration for building complex AI agents and RAG pipelines. What does that mean in plain English? If you want to build automations that include AI doing heavy lifting, summarizing documents, answering questions from your data, n8n gives you more control over how that works. Intuition Labs put it well. Zapier excels for fast, no-code integration of LM-powered tasks across existing apps. But n8n excels for custom or complex AI logic where full control matters. Now let's talk money, because this is where most people get surprised. Zapier uses task-based pricing. Every step in your automation counts as one task against your monthly limit. Zapier's entry-level Pro plan costs $19.99 per month and includes just 750 tasks. Not 750 workflows. 750 individual steps. Let me show you how fast that disappears. So you have a 5-step automation that runs every time someone submits a form. If you get 50 submissions per day, that's 250 tasks daily. That's 7,500 tasks per month for just one automation. You'd need Zapier's team plan at $399 per month, minimum, to cover it. The Zignut's technical comparison puts it bluntly. Zapier's pricing is task-based, which means that costs can quickly become unpredictable. n8n does it differently. They charge per execution, which means per workflow run, not per step. A 200-step AI workflow costs the same as a 2-step workflow. According to n8n's own comparison, their Cloud Pro plan costs $50 per month and includes 50,000 executions. That's the entire workflow running, regardless of complexity. Let's redo that math. Same 5-step automation, same 50 daily submissions. On n8n, that's 50 executions per day, 1,500 per month. You'd use 3% of your allocation. Cronex's analysis found that heavy automation users can see up to 98% cost reduction by switching from task-based to execution-based pricing. That's not a typo. But here's where I need to be honest with you. These numbers only matter if you can actually use n8n. And for some people, that's a genuine obstacle. Cronex's analysis acknowledges this directly. n8n gives technically oriented teams the flexibility to shape workflows at a deeper level. The key phrase there is technically oriented. Zapier was built specifically for non-technical users. The interface holds your hand through every step. You pick an app, pick a trigger, pick an action, and you're done. n8n's visual workflow builder is more powerful, but that power comes with more buttons, more options, and more places where things can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing. There's also the self-hosting question. n8n lets you run the entire platform on your own server for free. Zero monthly cost. But that's only free if your time is worthless. Self-hosting means you handle updates, security patches, backups, and what happens when something crashes at 2 a.m. For most non-technical users, that's a terrible trade-off. My honest take, if you've never used command line tools and the word Docker makes you nervous, start with Zapier's free tier. It includes 100 tasks per month for testing. Build a few automations, see how fast you burn through tasks, and calculate what your real usage would cost at scale. Then you'll have actual numbers to compare. For AI-heavy workflows specifically, Intuition Labs makes a clear distinction. Zapier is better for adding AI to existing simple workflows. Summarize this email, then send it somewhere. n8n is better when AI is the core of what you're building. Analyze this document against my company database, make decisions based on the results, then route to different teams. The third option in our title, doing it wrong, isn't actually a platform. It's what happens when you pick the right tool but use it badly. I've seen people with Zapier team plans running 100 separate automations that could be consolidated into 10. They're paying for complexity they created themselves. I've also seen people self-host n8n to save money, then spend 40 hours troubleshooting issues that would have been covered by the $50 cloud plan. Do the math on your actual time. Before choosing any platform, audit your existing workflows. Count every step in each automation, estimate how often they run, and calculate your actual monthly task volume. Here's a quick framework. If you need fewer than 5,000 tasks per month, and you're not technical, Zapier is probably worth the premium for its simplicity and support. If you need more than 5,000 tasks per month, or you're building AI-heavy workflows with lots of steps, try n8n Cloud for a month. The cost difference will likely justify the learning curve. Only consider self-hosting n8n if you have genuine DevOps experience or you're willing to pay someone who does. The free software isn't free if it breaks your business. One more consideration: the integration gap. Zapier's 8,000 integrations versus n8n's 400 matters more for some businesses than others. If you use obscure industry-specific software, check whether your apps are supported before deciding. n8n can use webhooks and APIs for custom connections, but that requires technical knowledge. Both platforms offer free trials. Use them with your actual apps and actual workflows. Don't just test with demo scenarios that don't reflect your real work. The automation market in 2026 isn't really about Zapier versus n8n. It's about understanding your own needs and matching them to the right pricing model. Task-based pricing makes sense when your automations are simple and infrequent. Execution-based pricing makes sense when your automations are complex and run constantly. The 98% savings number is real, but it only applies to specific use cases. High volume, complex workflows. For simple setups, the difference might be minimal or even favor Zapier. What I want you to walk away with is this. Don't choose an automation platform based on marketing or recommendations. Choose based on math. Calculate your expected task volume. Multiply by 12 for annual cost. Compare that number between platforms. Add in the value of your time for any self-hosting or technical overhead. If the difference is a few $100s per year, pick the one that matches your technical comfort. If it's thousands, the learning curve of the cheaper option is probably worth it. And whatever you choose, start simple. Build one automation, run it for a month, understand the billing, then scale up. Don't commit to annual plans until you know your real usage patterns. The automation platforms will keep evolving. Prices will change, features will expand, AI capabilities will improve. What won't change is the need to understand what you're actually paying for. Both Zapier and n8n are investing heavily in AI features. By this time next year, the comparison might look completely different, but the pricing model differences are structural. Those won't change quickly. The best tool is the one you'll actually use consistently. Perfectly optimized n8n setup that you never touch is worse than a more expensive Zapier workflow that runs reliably every day. If you're not technical and automation isn't your core business, the premium for simplicity might be worth paying. Time spent troubleshooting is time not spent on actual work. If you're building dozens of complex automations or AI workflows, the cost savings from execution-based pricing add up fast. Invest the time to learn n8n properly. Here's your homework for this week. Pick one repetitive task you do manually. Try automating it on Zapier's free tier. Count the tasks it uses. Then estimate your monthly cost at scale. That exercise alone will tell you more about which platform you need than any comparison article or podcast, including this one. Real data beats opinions every time. To recap, Zapier is simpler but charges per step. n8n is more complex but charges per run. The right choice depends on your workflow complexity and your technical comfort level. Don't let anyone tell you there's one right answer. There isn't. There's only the right answer for your specific situation. And now you have the framework to find it. Thanks for listening to AI Tools That Work. If this saved you from an expensive automation mistake, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, automate wisely.